Hello everyone and welcome to another episode, another day, another house. Today we are going to be looking at Trick or Treat. A really nice house this year, really beautiful, and we're going to be going through the scenes in the house and what they represent to what the film as well. So come along with me and let's have a look at Trick or Treat. So let's start with the facade of the house. As you can see behind me on this picture, it's a whacking great movie poster for Trick or Treat with Sam on the front. And there's also some white picket fences outside adorned with pumpkins that have been carved out, which is a really nice entrance to the house. And there's also the rules of Halloween being played out over the speaker as well.
During the spookiest time of the year, there are a few guidelines all ghosts and goblins should follow. Always stay on sidewalks. Never go to a stranger's house. And never go out alone.
Really nice touch on the outside of the house, because not only that, do we get two facades in this place. So we get this main one on the outside, which I think most people will be happy with. And then there is the one once we get in the doors. And this is a beautiful facade. I did the Unmasking the Horror tour and I was so thankful for this that I got to see this house. How they built a two-storey house in this soundstage still amazes me whenever I see it. So as we walk in, we're greeted by Mr. Kreeg's house, a full-size replica of it, which we can walk through the front door. There's also a yard scattered with pumpkins, and there's also a scarecrow there as well. And to our left down the street, we can see Sam lurking about at the end of the road, which is really cool because we got to photograph Sam on that Unmasking the Horror tour. Whereas at night, you can only just about see him and walk past because there's a lot of smoke and stuff going on. But I really like the start of this house because it sets the tone for the rest of it. It's a really, really nice looking building, and I'm really happy with how that one turned out. So as we enter the house, we are greeted by Mr. Kreeg, and he shoots us with his gun. This also leads to a Sam up the top of the stairs, which is distracting us, when another Sam from the right comes out at us. So there's a lot going on when we already walk into the house. I really like this effect as well because it's like a Pepper's Ghost effect. He sort of is up there and he disappears from our sight. And the gunshot as well from Mr. Kreeg also startles us to move round, which also scares us with the other Sam. That's a really nice effect to start it off as well. And then we turn left down a hallway and we see Mr. Kreeg being attacked by a puppet Sam. This is a gentleman that has Sam attached to him and he's getting bit by Sam and he's coming in and out of his boo hole, scaring us with this puppet Sam. I think that's a really, really good scare as well because it's a really tight corridor and quite hard to get out of. This scare with the puppet, another puppet we see in this event, but a different kind. I really like this one, and I think a lot of people did as well. We then enter through Mr. Kreeg's bedroom, which is very dark and has got Trick or Treat and all the letters adorned along the walls in blood, it looks like, with a pumpkin in the corner that lights up every now and then. Mr. Kreeg comes from behind us, shoots us again. We have a air blast scare, and some water that comes through the window as he shoots it, which is really nice effect. And there's also another Sam that scares us from out of this door as well. So we're getting quite a lot of Sam scares straight on. It's really good how they've done this in it. I really like the bedroom scene because it's different than the rest of it. Like he comes from behind us, he shoots the window, water's coming at us, and there's Sam there in front of us. Really good effect for another scene of the house. Now we enter into a beautiful part of the house where we enter into the street and there's ghostly figures adorned. They are like bed sheets that keep blowing in the wind. The smell of chocolate here as well, because we have Charlie throwing up on the stoop. He is throwing up all his sweets that he's doing while he's sitting on his house. It's a really nice effect, and the smell of chocolate is really nice as you walk through there. Also, Sam pops out at us from two different sides here. We get one on the right-hand side, which is underneath one of the ghosts, and also on the left-hand side as we exit from another ghost as well. So really good scares, and this is a beautiful part of the house because there are like a full street built on either side. I really like how they've done that because there's a full house here, and there's these bedsheet ghosts adorned along the roads. It makes you feel like you're actually walking down a street. Really good effect how they've done this one. We then enter through the basement with a trick-or-treater to startle us straight away, coming straight out at us. There's also a girl with a bag on her head that is to the right of us. We don't know whether she's real or not. Turns out she is definitely real because she gives us a big startle. Really good effects here as well. You think it's a puppet or you think it's a dummy. No, it's an actual person with a bag on their head screaming out at us. Very, very good effect on that one. We also see Charlie's head on a platter. He is obviously being killed now, and his head is on a platter as we leave the room. There is also Sam up above us looking into the basement very creepily. I really like that because not many people will get to see that unless you do the Unmasking the Horror tour or are looking out for it. I pointed it out to a few people when we was going through the house and they'd never seen it before. Really good. I like that extra details that they put in. It's just this little Sam looking in at you as you're walking through. It's really, really good. So the garden is next as we wind our way around, and Stephen there scares us with his shovel as he is burying the bodies of his victims. Sam gives us another scare from the right-hand side as we've got to go around the burial of the bodies, the big mound of dirt in the way. I tripped over this many times as I went through. It was quite hard to not trip up on it because it's quite dark in there as well. Mrs. Henderson also makes an appearance to startle us as well, much to many fans' happiness and joy because they didn't think she was going to be in the house, but she was there. I don't think she was in the street last year. I'm trying to remember, but I can't think of it. But it was really good to see her in the house. We then head into the alley with a great scare, a really, really interesting scare that I think startled most of us. A girl is coming from our right. She runs out, screams, gets dragged back into the alley, and then to our left, the devil guy comes out and gives us an almighty scare. I jumped at this one because I really wasn't expecting it. Some nights the actor was there, some nights it wasn't. And when the actor was there, boy, did it give you a scare. There was a lot of people that made that jump as well because not only that, the music in there is getting you amped up as well with the drum beats and things like that. Very, very good scare, and I really like this one. Probably one of the best scares in the house. So into the woods, we meet our sexy werewolves as they're dancing around, trying to distract us and trying to lure us in. But on the right-hand side as we walk in, there it is, our American Werewolf in London puppet. It's really great to see this again. What a great animatronic this is. It is massive and scary, and it's so good to see. Everyone that walks past it just looks at it and just goes, wow. I mean, you don't expect that in a house, and I'm glad to see it make another appearance in this maze as well. We also see the devil guy who is now dead. He's laying on the floor. Also the hot dog suit guy, which is on the right-hand side. He's very hard to see, but on the Unmasking the Horror tour, I found this out for myself, that he is actually there, which is really nice to see. Now comes to my favourite scene, possibly of the whole event. This is the school bus scene. What an amazing scene to walk through this was. We get a whole school bus here with all the kids on top that you see. You're just looking around in amazement because this whole bus is in here. And we're just looking around at the scene, and we also see the vampire kid come out from our left-hand side who wants to just simply go home, which is quite sad. The scene in itself in the film is very disturbing and upsetting, but this, how they've done it, is amazing and true to the film. It's really good. Thanks to Unmasking the Horror tour, this clarified the story for us as we go through. From the bus scene, we head into the elevator. You wouldn't know it, the lift shaft that takes us down into the quarry. Because what happens in the film is the bus drives off, crashes into the quarry, and all the kids are dead. What happens here in our scene, we see the bus, We go into our transition scene, which is actually the lift, and our next scene is the bus crash scene. What an amazing transition effect, and it was really good to get that information on my Unmasking the Horror story. I was really impressed that they went to this detail on this. We see the clown girl from our left come out and scream us. There's also a bunny that comes out from our left, and then we see the bus crash in all its glory. This is amazing to see, and even better is the story that they told on the tour. This isn't a bus. This is made all out of wood. I cannot believe they made this bus crash all out of wood, all out of this card and everything like that they've made as well. It's crazy. This whole scene with the rocks and the quarry is just all handmade, and it took so long to do, and I'm so thankful that I got to walk through this with the lights on to see it in all its glory, because when you walk through overnight, it's amazing with all the fog and effects and everything, but just to see how they made it, yes, it is in fact made out of wood when you go up close to it, but you wouldn't notice that at night time. I think this was such a good feat of construction and really great on the design front. I'm so happy with this. It is really, really good, and I think everyone, once they know the story, is in awe of this as they walk through it. So as we walk through our bus crash scene, there is also the skeleton that pops out to our right while Sam is on the left distracting us as we think it's a real Sam, but it's not, it's just a mannequin Sam. So the skeleton guy comes out from our right. We think it's over, we transition into the next scene, and then an unmasked Sam comes out and scares the hell out of us. He is ugly. I know people think he's cute with the mask on and everything, but without that mask, he is ugly as fuck. So he comes out, gives us a scare to send us on our way, and it's a really, really good ending to the house, I think. So not great scares, but a few startles and amazing representation of the film. I think they really knocked it out of the park here. A lot of us was worrying that they couldn't transition the scare zone into a house, but I think they really, really, really did a good job on this one, and they should be really happy with it. Trick or Treat is a film I really like. It's got some really good short stories, and then they've represented them really well in that house. I'm really happy with every scene in that, and I hope every fan is as well. This was possibly the nicest looking Halloween Horror Nights house, maybe of all time. Walking through this with the lights on was phenomenal, just to see all of the set design, all of the creation that they did. Beautiful houses. It must have taken an absolute age to construct. I would be really disappointed in tearing this one down because I think it's a great, great house. Really good, and everyone that went on Unmasking the Horror tour said how lovely the house was, and they look forward to walking through it again. I was really pleased with this. But all in all, the house was really good. Good to walk through. Like I said, not scary. Good solid 6 out of 10, I reckon. But the set design alone is 9 or 10 out of 10. But all in all, the house and the scares and everything brings it down to about a 6. But it was very good. Let me know what you think about Trick or Treat and see if there's anything different for you. But that's all for this one, and then we'll see you on our next video. So thanks for sticking around.